Hello there guys, and welcome back to Vaultford. I can't actually remember all of the things that I needed to get done in this city after the last video. What I do remember is that there's a lot of stuff that we need to do, including a university. We need to get the academy up and running at some point. We need a better power station. We also want to go for tourism here, so we need to get a stadium, but we're a little bit short of money. We're going to speed things up for a little while. Let's have a quick look here at the fire service. Seems to be a bit of a problem here. Fire trucks were slow to get to a building before it burnt down. And that's probably mainly caused due to the traffic congestion we're getting in places. Now, somebody rightly said I should really try and avoid four-way intersections, and I normally do. It was a little bit of a mistake making this city a sort of a grid, because this is the problem you usually end up getting. But it's a little bit late to do anything about it now. So let's get rid of... Was that the abandoned building? Yes, I had a horrible feeling for a moment there that I'd actually taken out one of the ones that wasn't the abandoned one. So, what do we do? Well, first of all, we need cash. We do have cash flow coming in, which is good. Obviously, we've got lots of things that are being added in various other cities, because we have got a few people playing now. Max out a regional bonus from Mega Tower or Elite Mega Towers. Gambling HQ division. Well, I haven't got a gambling HQ, so somebody else has done that. So the good thing is we are now getting things from our other cities in the region, which are going to help us out. Trade metals, Trade HQ metals. I think that's the one that I've actually got. Neighbouring city with a metals division has earned approval for Vault Land. No, it's too fast to read. Stop it. Park Crown added in Vault Land. So obviously remember, Vault Land is the name of the entire region. Let's have a look what we're doing with add a municipal bus garage to the bus terminal. Come on. Anything to make me spend more money. Okay, add a garage. There we go. Reduces the wait time a little bit, I suppose. So that's that quest done. Right, have a 70% approval rating with 10,000 residents and plop a house for yourself. So I need the mayor's house. Add a classroom to a grade school. Okay, I think we have a grade school somewhere. There's the grade school. Yes, it's already full. So let's add a classroom. We can just about afford that. There we go. Petition to build waste reduction level approved. Now, the question is, are we actually going to build any mega towers here? This is going to be Dr. Vu again, yeah. Can you just stop asking me? So, yeah, we are going to need quite a few things still built in here, and I don't want to run out of room. We don't want to build an Arcology. Now, I would like to be able to build the better power station, but in order to do that, I'm going to have to get the academy up and running in this city as well. And obviously that takes a little bit of power to get it started, to get it up and running. So we could have some early issues. The parks seem to have worked out nice for us. We've definitely got some higher value housing here. The question is, am I going to build any mega towers? That is the... that's what I was trying to... The quandary I was wrestling with earlier, because it would really help. We'd get a lot more population. Of course, we could just increase the density of some of this housing. I think what we might do, actually, for the time being, is take some housing and just run it straight down here. And I'm not going to bother at all with making this into a little sort of cross-section of roads, because I want these houses to have as much room as possible to be able to expand out in this direction. It's making the commercial happy as well, because of course it gives them room to build. We could also go across here, because I don't really need that much room for the City Hall to expand at the moment. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm saving a little bit of space over here, but I don't know why. So I guess what I could do, we could take, and we might go straight for a medium density street here. We'll go off in this direction, and we'll go across here, and then we will take ourselves some residential, and I think what we'll actually do, we'll go residential across there, we'll go residential down here if we can, all the way around the edge if there's enough room, and there is, and then we'll put a little bit more commercial along the front. So that should sort us out for a little while. There is still a bit of a call for industrial, but not an awful lot I can do about that at the moment. But hopefully this will increase population. It's certainly increasing the amount of money we've got coming in, because the taxes are all good. Still got problems with arsonists. Do we have any police here, actually? I don't think that's Do we have a police station at all? No, we do not. So we're just going to have the little police station. We don't have enough simoleons. We're out of money again. Okay, we're going to have to take a little loan. So let's do that, just so we can get some things up and running. I know I could send money from my other city, but I haven't been playing my other city, so the problem is at the moment, my other city doesn't actually have that much money to spare anyway. So we're going to put ourselves down the police station, just a standard one. And we'll put down some extra cars. I don't think we need an extra jail cell just yet. I mean, we can get neighbouring crime, but I think we're good for the time being. As you can see, these housing areas that I've put down have already started to fill up. Still people moving in. Plenty of removal vans coming in there. And these ones down here, of course. Now, this is a high-density road, so these ones should upgrade quite quickly. Obviously, there's a road here I've missed. We can get these upgraded almost straight away. So, let us do that. Let's get this upgraded to... Now, is this high or medium? These are just medium-density roads. And we'll make that medium. Let's make that medium as well. And what do we do? Let's make these medium. Let's try and get some of these houses a bit bigger if we can. So we'll make that medium. That medium. Just zooming in a little bit so I can actually see which roads are medium and which ones are low. Help with the traffic congestion a little. Not much, but a little. And we should really make that into a high-density street anyway, just to alleviate some of the traffic problems. So that should give us a little bit more growth. Now, I just saw power flashing there. We have a deficit of power, which is not good. It's obviously because we've just started putting a lot of extra houses down. So while we've still got some money in the bank, we're going to put ourselves down another couple of these, I think. And hopefully... They're not quite lined up, those, are they? Oh, well, never mind. Hopefully, we'll have enough to be able to sustain the city. We really need to get that... oh, words escaping me today. Really need to get the academy up and running as soon as possible so that we can get the advanced power plant. But the good thing is money is coming in. Population is going up as well now. We're only on about 6,000 to start with. Now, what do you want here? I think this one's just build the academy, which I intend to do anyway. Yeah, plop the academy, have the academy hire enough staff to open, begin an academy research project, and complete the research project. And I get 20,000 for doing it, so at least I'd get some of the money back. Right, you still want me to build a recycling centre, which is something that's probably on the list, but not something that I'll be doing straight away. Let's have a little look at tourism and gambling. Let's see if there's anything we could actually put down and how much money we could make from doing so. So what have we got here? We've got a gambling house, which we can't have yet because we don't have 21 commercial buildings in the city. And we need to have a gambling HQ, which we probably won't need, actually. Not sure what it actually gives us, but I don't think we need to have one. We could have a sci-fi casino. They're quite expensive, of course. We could have a sleek casino. Low wealth gambler capacity. Medium wealth, 200. High wealth. So it's mainly for medium wealth. Roman look casino. Medium and high wealth. There's no low wealth at the Roman look casino. And we've got the elegant casino, which again is medium and high wealth. Sci-fi casino actually has low wealth. As does the sleek casino. So we'd have to go for one of those two. But they are very, very expensive. Of course, we could also have one of the stadiums. The Expo Centre. Now, the Pro Stadium is one of the best ones to get. It costs 600 simoleons an hour to run, though. And it's very, very expensive to put down. But it's a really, really good way to make money. But you do need to have a good amount of tourists coming in to be able to do that. One other thing we can do, of course, now, because I believe it's unlocked, is we can actually, and find where it is, it's under mass transit, we should be able to put the airport in. 85,000. That would be a great way of getting people in. We could put it down here somewhere out of the way. Which is the main reason why I've got this avenue up here. Looks like all of our problem is money related. Getting closer to that 10,000 residents, but still not quite there yet. I think this residential area is definitely going to have to expand down this way. So, let's do things a slightly different way. Let's instantly go into medium density. Let's draw a line out. And let's draw a line across. We'll connect it up at the ends. We'll do it twice. In fact, we'll do it thrice. So let's go down to here. So these are all medium density. And we will have a whole row of commercial across there. And then all the rest, we're just going to make residential. Give it plenty of room to grow. And hopefully our sewage capacity can cope with all of that. Maybe a little bit too much too soon, but we need the money. What do you guys want? They want me to expand to one of the bigger police stations. There's absolutely no point in doing it. I just simply cannot afford to do that. So, petition to build a gambling house approved. Now, again, you can make money from gambling houses, but the problem is if you don't have enough people who can actually go to them, it's not really going to help an awful lot. But we are getting people moving in, which is good. This is going to help with the population, which should in turn help with other things. As you can see, they're already starting to get some medium density houses here straight away, which is very good. Of course, the problem, as I've said before, with medium and high density is you don't get as many residents in a smaller space, so that's a bit problematic. But it's not the end of the world. We should definitely start increasing the density of some of these, though. The main problem is the richer people, because the high wealth sims have these massive houses that take up like an entire block, so that's where our problems are there. Okay, there we go. We have 10,000 residents. Now, this should allow us now to build the mayor's house. Oh, mayor's house. There we go. Maintain an approval rating of 70% or more. I think you only have to maintain it for like an hour or something, so we should be okay with that. And we'll slap that down here in the middle here somewhere. And now, why aren't they building houses along the bottom here? Did it not zone that? Yes, it did. Maybe there isn't enough room, although I could swear that this is the same width that this is. So that's very, very strange if they haven't expanded, if they're not building along there. Because then that becomes a bit of a waste of space. Oh no, there's one. So there is actually space for them to build. Okay, that's good, we think. Looks like people are asking for mega towers. And we've got almost 3,000 simoleons per hour coming in now, so that's a very good thing. Are you just asking for a bigger fire station again? Yeah, maybe later on, but definitely not now. We just cannot afford to do that. Of course, we want to get universities in, which is our main priority here. Right, what do you want? A ferry terminal. Now, a ferry terminal is something that I do actually want to have, because having a ferry terminal will allow us to get more tourists in. How much is a ferry terminal going to cost us? Again, that is under mass transit and is under boats. 31,000. Now, it's not too expensive, but it does cost 575 simoleons per hour to run. And of course, where would we put it? Now, there's two types of things you can have running from a ferry terminal. I think you can have tourism, so you can have like a sort of cruise liner sort of dock. And you can also, I suppose here, so it can connect to the avenue would be the most sensible of options, really. If that is at all possible. Don't want it too close to the school. So, can we afford it? Only just. We do need to get people in there, that's the important thing. So let's go for a medium density street. And connect up to the end of the avenue. It's a bit janky, but it will do. So if we look here, what is it we can add to it? So we already have a passenger ferry dock, and we can have a cruise ship dock as well, which brings in medium and high wealth tourists, whereas the normal ferry dock is just sort of low wealth. But we'll leave that as it is for now. Hopefully it's going to get enough people to make it worthwhile, and it won't be too expensive for us to run. But because we have so many cities within the region, we do have a lot of people moving around. So it is definitely going to be good for us. Still a lot of traffic problems. We are really going to have to do something about mass transit and find a way to alleviate this. It would be nice if we could get some maglevs in. that will be more of a thing once we get the academy. So the academy is something that we definitely need to do. Let's have a quick look at education. How much is the university going to cost us? 88,000. We really do need to get a lot of money going before we can do that. We don't have a community college either. Now, the main thing with the community college is it increases the tech level of nearby industrial buildings, and it raises the medium wealth land value. We don't really have that many industrial buildings, and the few that we do are over here. It probably is time to build a few more, to be honest, because we do get some money coming in from the industry. So we're going to build a road out along here, and I think I'm also going to build down along there as well. Now that is going to take up a little bit of room. No, I'm not going to build on that side because of the recycling centre, the waste disposal centre. But we will build along on that side. I think we'll build along down there as well. And then we'll take some zoning and we'll put... Yeah, that's fine. We'll do it that way. So we should get some more industrial in now, because we do have a bit of a demand for it. Up to 13,000 people, still making almost 3,000 simoleons per hour. And keeping everything on fast forward so that we can do that as quick as we can. How's the mayor's approval going? Still not quite there yet. I know we can put a module on City Hall. There's really no point in doing so. How is my approval? Residential happiness is... Everyone's... Oh, it's only 66%. Wow. But everyone's happiness is going up. How's things? It's the medium wealth. Not enough shopping around here. That's the problem that the medium wealth has, but it is going up. And I did put a lot more commercial in, so hopefully things will be increasing around there. Could do with a bit of extra happiness in here, couldn't we? We could do with at least a park or something. Let's try something a bit medium wealthy, shall we? So let's put in something like a volleyball court, and we'll put it right in there, because that will help the shops as well. There we go. Destroyed a few houses along the way, but as you can see already, we're getting some of the housing and the commercial that is changing to medium density. So that's going to be really good for us. I need to remember when I've got the money to extend this avenue, because that's going to come down here. This is where our airport is going to be. Fire service is still complaining. Yeah, it's mainly trucks getting stuck. That's the big problem that we've got at the moment. Getting stuck in traffic. I think we will have another fire truck though, because we don't have many. And we're going to put one on this side of the road as well. The reason I'm going to do that is because it makes it a little bit easier, because that's if that side of the road is uncongested. So we still need to bring 200 passengers a day by ferry in order to get that little mission done. We are getting some people through, although resident riders 3 per day. That's not a lot. We've seen more cars than that go in. So, a little bit of a shame there. So, it might be costing us more money than it's making us, but we'll see how it goes. If it's bringing people in, it's probably worth it somewhere along the line. Time to check for abandoned buildings. We're bound to have a few. Yeah, we're getting quite a few that are burning down, because our fire service just can't get to them. Which is bad city planning. I know it's completely my fault. Yeah, building fires over here with some of the industrial buildings. So here we go, we are starting to get some of the much bigger buildings going in now, which is really good for us. Now, do we bother with a community college? Or do we just go straight for the university? Do you want to increase the length of this avenue? Thing is, building roads is quite an expensive thing, but I want it to go almost down to the edge of the map. And then I'm going to build it off in this direction. And that's as far as that's going to go. That's where the airport will be connected on this side once we get the airport up and running. Still got a bit of congestion here, but I think we can deal with that. But there we go. Look at this. We've got 200 shoppers, 100 students, and we're almost getting up to 400 workers. So look at all those people coming out. Now, these people are going to start using the ferry terminal. Now, these houses haven't upgraded yet because they're not happy enough on the density charts. So maybe once they get a little bit more happiness, they will improve in density. We could do that, of course. We could put a low wealth park down. Something like a swings playground. Don't really want to destroy the commercial, but if we do something like... Let's do it in that corner. And then we may get a bit of growth around there. How's the ferry terminal doing now? Still only 3 passengers per day. Not good. I might end up having to close it down if things don't improve. But of course, this could also be because none of the other cities in the region have a ferry terminal. Because you do need to connect somewhere. People can use it if there isn't another terminal in the region, but it certainly helps if there is one. Same with the airport. I'm not sure if anybody else has an airport in the region either. Let's have a quick look at the region, actually. See what we've got going on here. Because you'll notice there's still a few empty plots, but we've got a few more people who have popped up along the way. We've got a few cities now. We've got... Doesn't help when the map doesn't tip around. We've got City of Angels, which we probably won't visit because it's loading time, but he's doing well there. He's got 2 million simoleons and over 280,000 people, so that's doing quite well. There's at least 5 mega towers. I mean, we can actually see some on the map there, all connected together using sky bridges. We're all going to have a look at it one day in the future. We've got some tourism and some power crowns on there. We've also got Gnomeville. And we have Racertron over there. It's almost 20,000 people. Another city here with a park crown on top of a mega tower. Over 100,000 people. And of course we've got the ones that we looked at last time over here as well. We've got Quasipolis over here, which is doing quite well. Wow, 4.5 million in the bank. So yeah, the region's doing quite well. Nobody has started any of the great works yet, and I don't think I've actually had a look at these properly. The only, well, we've actually got the international airport is available to be built now. Now, this would be good because it gives you tourism and it accepts freight. It does require an airport in the region, so somebody must have an airport now. I'm not sure who that is. We'll have to have a look at that later. The 2 things we can't build is the space centre, and that's because we haven't completed a project at a university. Now, there is a university with a School of Engineering in the region, so somebody has built a university somewhere. But there hasn't been a project completed. Once that's been done, we'll be able to build a space centre. And again, need to complete the project for the solar farm as well. So we've got 4 great work sites. I'm hoping between all of us we can coordinate and get all 4 of them built. I keep being asked to build the Arcology, which greatly improves the number of people in the city. Now, it does require quite a lot of... I mean, the metal and alloys isn't a problem, but it does require 60,000 crates of TVs. The international airport requires metal, crude oil, and alloy. So the airport isn't too much of a bad one to build. I think we may end up going with the Arcology, but I want to make sure that my cities are actually able to run out enough televisions before we can do that. So we've come back in here and we are still making money, though only just. We're still getting fires. As you can see, we've got a building here that's now going to probably maximum capacity, I'd say. Or is that just medium? But it can't expand anymore because it's kind of in a block that's too small. Which again is my bad planning. So do I connect this up? Probably not, because it's just going to cause more congestion. How's the ferry terminal doing? Still only 3 passengers per day. That's not very good. Industry's doing better though. Things are improving. Let's have a look at infrastructure. Still have a power deficit. This is where we've got to be careful. We really need to avoid running out of power. So we're going to extend this road a little, and we are going to put in some more of these turbines. And none of them are going to line up because I fudged one earlier on, but that'll be enough power to keep us going for a while. What we could do, of course... Yeah, that does need control net, so I can't even put one of those on because we don't have any control net at the moment. But let's have a look at other things. Water, we have a deficit of water. Now, what do we have as far as water goes? Do we just have the water pump? Yeah, we do have some houses here struggling with water. Let us put in one of the futuristic water pumps because there's a lot of water over here. Let us put one in right there. So that should help with the water issue. Sewage, we are coping with the sewage at the moment. Although we're not really treating it, we're just kind of splurging it out onto the landscape. So we are going to need some sewage treatment at some point, because that's going to be causing us quite a bit of pollution. But I think we've solved the water problem there. Yes, we have. Brilliant. And I've just seen the flashing icon. We can now build the mayor's house. Now, there's not an awful lot of happiness around here. So what we're going to do is kind of right in the middle. It's destroying a few houses, but look at that. It gives a massive boost to happiness. So that's all good stuff. And then we get a bit more sort of futurism going. So I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to go futuristic in this city. But by putting the academy down, that's going to cause a bit of futurism anyway. So we might as well go for that. Surprised that none of these houses have started to expand yet. Oh, not enough room to increase density. So it is a little bit problematic with some of these houses here. Maybe that's because they're right next to the avenue. Is that on a bit of a different gradient? It's difficult to tell. You'd have thought that there would have been room, but no, these houses can't increase their density, which is a little bit problematic, but not the end of the world. It means we can knock those houses down and build other things here if we need to. If we need to build like another fire station or another clinic or something, we'll just put them here because these houses are kind of stuck. They can't do anything. What are you complaining about? Buying power from a neighbour. Well, we don't need to do that just yet. What we do need to do is get enough money so that we can actually build the academy. Now, can anybody remember how much the academy costs? Because I cannot. What we could do, of course, is we could just build a control net facility, which means we don't need an academy, but having a control net facility does mean that we can put down some of the futuristic buildings, which might be all we need. Although saying that, it's actually cheaper to have an academy. The max control net transmission is 5,200, and this one is 10,000. So it's actually cheaper to build, it's cheaper to run, and has more control net output. So I think we are going to be building the academy. Where are we going to build it? We're probably going to build it... Where do we want to build it? I think we'll have it over here somewhere. So let's put it down right there. Obviously, we need some workers to get it up and running. And then as soon as we can afford it, we will put down the sort of futuristic nuclear power station, which means we can get rid of the old wind farm here as well. And then we've got all of this space, which we've got obviously going to have an airport in here, hopefully. But we should have enough space to get in a stadium, a gambling house, and a university. Because it's quite a lot of space. I don't think we need to go too wide with residential. We could save one corner for a mega tower, just in case we need to. But I think we are okay for the time being. So there's no project here. Obviously, some of these have already been researched in the region. We can immediately go for a level 2 upgrade, so we might as well do that. We have begun an academy research project. Obviously, we've got to wait for the project to finish before we can move on to the next step of that. And we'll get 20,000 back, which is nice. Ferry Terminal still not doing very well. 0 passengers per day, and it's costing us quite a lot of money to run. I think what I'm going to do for the time being is I'm going to shut this down, because I just don't think we're getting any benefit from it, and we're losing quite a bit of money from it. Now, is that a mission we've already had? Need at least 1,500 people. We're getting there, so let's go for that. So we'll get 15,000 simoleons for having 15,000 residents. Well, some of these buildings are increasing in density, so we should actually reach that organically without too much of a problem. Speaking of a problem, sewage is one of them. We need to deal with that. So what do? We could go for a sewage sanitizer. Direct conversion of wastewater into potable water. Now, that's quite useful because it means we don't have to have separate sewage and separate water. So what we could do is we could put that down here. It's quite close to the academy. Means we can deal with the sewage. And that should also increase our water output as well. Which means we should technically then be able to get rid of this thing here. But what we're definitely going to do, once we're certain that that is up and running and dealing with all the sewage, and it is, we are going to destroy that, because it's a nasty, smelly old building. And it gives us a little bit more room then to put in a tiny bit more industrial. Might get another building or two in there. So good, that's working away. Now, is that actually providing us with water? I believe it is. So I don't think we actually need that water tower there anymore now. Good stuff. And again, I think we can increase this if we need to by putting extra tanks on. Yeah, we can. Good. So let's start using some of these futuristic buildings. Of course, we still need to sort out the power. That is our main issue. It does cost quite a bit of money for one of those power plants, if I remember correctly, though. Let's have a look. How much do we need to save up for to get one? 155,000. Yes, it's a huge amount of money. We could go for wave, of course. We could put down a nuclear plant, although we don't have enough people. 200 megawatts. This puts out 200 megawatts. It's a little bit more expensive, but only by 10,000 simoleons. It costs 200 more per hour to run, but it's not going to go Nova and take the entire city out. So, yeah, I definitely think that I'd prefer to go along that route. Let's see if we can increase the density around where we've got our current industrial. It's probably not going to make much of a difference, given that there's not a huge amount of room for them to increase in density and expand, but we're certainly getting some stuff going on there. Garbage dump is dealing, so that is all good. Academy research is slow. It needs high wealth workers. That is a problem. We do need more high wealth, and we don't have an awful lot here in the city. We've got some, but not much. Now, this is the question. What do we do? Do we build a mega tower? But that's going to be more expensive. I guess we could turn some of these into high wealth. So let us take a high wealth plaza or a park or something along those lines. That thing is absolutely colossal. It takes up like half of the city block. So let's go for something a little bit more modest. That's going to destroy a few houses, but let's do that anyway. Why is somebody here so unhappy? My loved ones keep dying. Why? Because you're not taking them to the hospital? How's the clinic doing? Is it coping? Yeah, there's no reason why that shouldn't be doing what it should be doing. Obviously, we're getting a bit of high tech in this area now, spreading from the academy and the sewage sanitizer. Yeah, things are looking good overall. Still don't have quite as much money as I'd like. Complaints from the police, complaints from the fire. Population's actually going down. That is probably because we've just made this area into a bit of high wealth. So some of these houses actually becoming higher density and also becoming higher wealth means there's going to be slightly less population. There's a fire here. Maybe someone needs to come and put that out. Would be nice to increase the density around here generally. I think we're getting a bit of mid and high wealth now. So yes, we may well end up having to place a mega tower just to get some population issues dealt with. But we'll see how it goes. It's not my intention to have a... Oh, another family member passed away. Seems to be a lot of people dying. It's not my intention to have a mega huge population at this city, because I think this city is mainly going to have buildings and it's going to rely on people coming in from outside, from other cities within the region. So all I want to have is enough people living here to be able to run the buildings that we have. But we've got money coming in, which is good. Approval rating is... people keep dying, concerned about crime. So yeah, we do have a few issues that we need to fix. But I'm just trying to get my infrastructure up and running. I really want to get the power plant sorted out. I really want to get the university down. And these are all things that are very expensive. Of course, once we get things like the Pro Stadium. But I can't have the Pro Stadium until I've got the tourism coming in, because otherwise that's a waste of money. Also, the Pro Stadium is going to require a considerable bit of power to keep it running. So we need to have the new power station before we can deal with that. And once we're stable and we've got a decent amount of money coming in, we will upgrade the clinic and the fire station and the police station and get the bigger ones in. And hopefully then we can start... We've got the academy now, so we can technically start putting in maglev, which would be quite nice. But I don't want to do that right now because I want to save up the money to get the other things in. And once we've got some money, we'll put maglev in to alleviate the congestion on the roads and help deal with the influx of tourism. So there you go, guys. There is Voltford, ever growing. We have more people living here. We've finally got our academy in. We've dealt with the sewage and the water problem. Although the city does still have a few issues that we need to get sorted. But hopefully that'll be done in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're still enjoying the series. And I'll see you next time. So until then, goodbye for now.